Hey everyone, this is SEA Crypto Daily Buzz. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. This channel summarizes the most important crypto news for investors in Southeast Asia, from Manila and Jakarta to Bangkok, Hanoi, and Singapore. 3 quick issues today, then a short summary. Let's get into it. First story, Bitcoin is trying to find its footing after yesterday's deep flush. As of this morning, Asia time, BTC is trading around $77,600, a small bounce from yesterday's bottom near $76,500, but the recovery is still very fragile. The 200-day moving average sits up at around $82,400, and Bitcoin failed to break that level earlier this week. Many chart analysts are pointing out that this rejection pattern looks similar to the early stage of the 2022 bear market, which is keeping short-term traders very cautious. The altcoin season index is sitting at 39, which means we are clearly in a Bitcoin dominance phase, not an altcoin season. The Fear and Greed Index is also at 39, deep in fear territory. Ethereum is hovering near $2,000 after a sharp drop yesterday, and on-chain analysts are still tracking roughly 60 whale wallets that have been steadily exiting their positions. For Southeast Asia traders, this is a textbook wait-and-watch zone. A reclaim of 78,000 could open a short relief rally toward 80,000. But if BTC loses the 76,000 support through the weekend, the next downside targets are 75 and 74. No leverage, no FOMO, and protect your stablecoin reserves. Second story, Korea just took a major step toward real-world stablecoin payments. NHN, one of Korea's largest payment processors, has announced a stablecoin payment proof of concept with Avalanche. This is not just a lab test. NHN plans to integrate stablecoin payments directly into PAYCO, which is one of the most widely used payment apps in Korea. If this rolls out as planned, it would become Korea's first real online and offline stablecoin payment ecosystem. Why does this matter for our region? Because Korea is often a regulatory bellwether for Asia. When Korean payment infrastructure adopts stablecoins through a licensed processor, exchanges and regulators in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia pay very close attention. We have already seen coins.ph, Gcash, and PDAX exploring stablecoin rails for remittance. A successful Korean rollout could accelerate similar pilots across Southeast Asia, especially in OFW remittance corridors, where speed and cost still matter the most. Avalanche is also positioning itself as a payments first layer 1, competing with Solana and Tron in the stablecoin settlement race. Watch this story closely, because it can quietly reshape how money moves across our region in 2026. Third story, the real-world asset sector just got its biggest regulatory milestone of the year. Plume, an RWA-focused blockchain project, has secured a Class M digital asset business license from the Bermuda Monetary Authority. Plume is now the world's first regulated on-chain vault manager. Class M is the same regulatory tier held by Circle, Coinbase, and Kraken, so this places Plume in very serious institutional company. What does an on-chain vault manager actually do? Think of it as a regulated bridge between traditional finance and tokenized assets. Tokenized treasuries, private credit, real estate, and yield products can now be issued, managed, and audited on Plume under a recognized legal framework. For institutional investors who have been waiting for proper regulatory clarity before touching tokenized real-world assets, this is exactly the kind of license that unlocks larger capital flows. Analysts expect more RWA projects to follow this Bermuda pathway, similar to how stablecoin issuers gravitated to specific jurisdictions for clarity. For Southeast Asia, this matters because Singapore, the Philippines, and Indonesia are already running RWA pilots, and a licensed Bermuda framework gives them a credible offshore reference model. Quick summary of today's 3 stories. First, BTC is in a fragile bounce near 77.6K, facing rejection at the 200-day moving average with fear levels rising. Second, Korea's NHN and Avalanche are launching a major stablecoin proof of concept with PAYCO. And third, Plume secures the world's first regulated Class M license for an on-chain vault manager in Bermuda. This video is for information and education only and is not financial advice. All investment decisions and risks are your own responsibility. If this video was helpful, please subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell. Chart analysis and trading insights, join our free Telegram channel, link in the description. See you in the next one.